On this accord, B121B points to a short in the mode control motor circuit for the climate control system. In plain terms, the control unit may not be able to trust or drive the door position feedback correctly, so the air outlet mode can act up, move inconsistently, or fail to respond the way the driver expects. The possible fault areas are the mode control motor, the wiring between the motor and the climate control unit, connector condition, or the climate control unit itself. If other short circuit codes are present at the same time, check what they mean first, because the shared 5V circuit may have an open or a short to body ground. Start by confirming the fault. Clear the codes with the HDS. Turn the ignition switch to lock 0 and then back to on Roman 2 or on push-button start vehicles. Select OFF mode and then on mode. Run the self-diagnostic with the HDS or with the climate control unit, then check for codes again. If B121B or 4A comes right back, continue into the circuit checks. If it does not return, treat it as an intermittent failure and inspect for loose wires or poor connections in the mode control motor circuit. With the ignition in lock 0 or OFF mode, disconnect the climate control unit 32P connector and the mode control motor 7P connector. Check continuity on the S5V or S5V wire between climate control unit 32P connector No. 24 the BLK wire and mode control motor 7P connector No. 1 also the BLK wire. If there is continuity, that wire is not open and you move on. If there is no continuity, repair the open between the climate control unit and the mode control motor. Next, keep the same connectors disconnected and stay in lock 0 or OFF mode. Check continuity between the MDDP circuit and the sensor COM circuit at the climate control unit connector. No. 12. The GRN wire to No. 22. The BLU wire. If you have continuity here, repair the short in the wiring between the climate control unit and the mode control motor. If there is no continuity, those two circuits are not shorted together, so continue. Now check the MDDP line for a short to body ground. With the climate control unit 32P connector and mode control motor 7P connector still disconnected, check continuity from climate control unit 32P connector No. 12. The GRN wire to body ground. If there is continuity, repair the short to body ground between the climate control unit and the mode control motor. If there is no continuity, the MDDP line passes this part of the test, and the next checks focus on the motor feedback circuit. With the connectors still disconnected and the ignition still in lock 0 or OFF mode, measure resistance at the mode control motor between No. 1 and No. 3. This checks S5V to sense COM inside the motor. The expected value is 6K omega plus or minus 1, 8K omega. If the resistance is within that spec, go to the next motor sweep check. If it is not, replace the mode control motor. For the last test, reconnect the mode control motor 7P connector and leave the climate control unit 32P connector disconnected. Apply battery power and ground to the motor control terminals, then reverse the connections. Terminal A is climate control unit 32P connector No. 4. The WHT wire and terminal B is No. 5. The GRN wire. Be careful here. Incorrectly applying power and ground to the motor will damage it, and when the motor stops running, disconnect battery power immediately. While moving the motor, measure resistance between climate control unit 32P connector No. 12. The GRN wire and No. 22 the BLU wire. Resistance should change between about 0.6K omega plus or minus 1, 8K omega. Also remember that continuity between MDDP and sensor COM may disappear when the motor reaches the stop, and the climate control unit usually does not drive the motor to the stop. If the resistance changes through that range, replace the climate control unit. If it does not change through that range, replace the mode control motor. Keep verification separate from the testing. After the wiring repair or supported part replacement is complete, clear the codes again. Cycle the ignition or start-stop mode OFF and back on. Run the self-diagnostic and confirm B121B stays gone. The takeaway is simple. Prove the code is current, check the feed and signal wiring in order, then use the motor resistance and sweep feedback to decide whether the fault is in the motor circuit, the motor, or the climate control unit. For more diagnostic training, visit self-diagnostics.com.